Let's talk Polkadot 2.0 versus 1.0. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, FD for Switch5.tv, with our quick take on what Polkadot 2.0 is bringing versus what it was in its previous guise, i.e. Polkadot 1.0. But before I jump into this video, guys, please note that I am not a financial advisor. All I'm doing is giving you information for educational purposes as well as entertainment value. And if you're from the UK, this video is not intended for you. Please do not watch this video. Why? Because the UK authorities are trying to protect you, as they do deem anything crypto related to be extremely risky, and they're trying to protect retail investors mostly to not lose all their funds and possibly their shirt along the way. That said, guys, let's come back to Polkadot 2.0 overview and characteristics for Polkadot 2.0. Polkadot 2.0 represents the next significant evolution of the Polkadot network, building upon the original vision to create a more scalable, efficient, and robust multi-chain ecosystem. Polkadot 2.0 introduces several new features and improvements designed to enhance the network's functionality, security, and user experience. So it's not just a play with numbers here. There are actually things coming along with Polkadot 2.0. We did a previous video before Polkadot 2.0 was actually announced, when we were looking at Blockspace versus blockchain. I'll leave some links for you guys in the comment section. So we were way ahead of everyone else. Before they even announced Polkadot 2.0, we had already covered Blockspace, what makes quality Blockspace versus inferior Blockspace. We covered all that way before. It was probably 6 to 8 months before they even announced Polkadot 2.0. Anyway, let's start with the key characteristics of Polkadot 2.0. The first one is around advanced scalability. What does that mean? Well, under advanced scalability, we've got asynchronous backing. One of the major upgrades in Polkadot 2.0 is the implementation of asynchronous backing. This allows parachains to process blocks asynchronously, improving the overall throughput and reducing latency. And the second thing under advanced scalability is parallel processing. Here, enhanced parallel processing capabilities enable multiple parachains to execute transactions simultaneously, significantly increasing the network's transaction capacity. Let's move on to characteristic number 2 for Polkadot 2.0, and that is enhanced security. Under enhanced security, Polkadot 2.0 aims to further decentralize its governance model by introducing more inclusive and dynamic decision-making processes. This includes mechanisms for community-driven proposals and voting. Under enhanced security, we also have adaptive consensus. What does that mean? It means improved consensus mechanisms to provide more security and resilience against potential attacks. This includes upgrades to the nominated proof of stake or NPOS model to enhance validator performance and reliability. This one will be hard to prove to a layman or to the retail investor at large, but I'm sure the benefits will all be seen in the long term. The third characteristic is improved interoperability. Here, you're talking of cross-chain communication. Polkadot 2.0 enhances cross-chain messaging protocols, allowing seamless communication and interaction between different parachains. This facilitates the transfer of data and assets across the Polkadot ecosystem and other blockchain networks. And alongside cross-chain communication, we also have bridges. Development of more robust bridges to connect with external blockchains such as Ethereum, Bitcoin, and others, expanding the interoperability of the Polkadot network. Characteristic number 4 is optimized resource allocation. What does that mean? Let's start with the concept of parathread. An introduction of parathreads, which are flexible, pay-as-you-go parachain. So parathreads are pay-as-you-go parachain. They only pay for the block space they are using. This model allows smaller projects to benefit from Polkadot's security and interoperability without the need for a full parachain slot, optimizing resource usage. So a project can become a part of the Polkadot ecosystem on an ad hoc basis, as and when they choose to. And the other part under optimized resource allocation centers around dynamic scheduler. What does that mean? A dynamic scheduler for parathreads and parachains ensures efficient allocation of network resources, balancing load and improving overall network performance. The fifth Polkadot 2.0 characteristic is enhanced developer experience. Now, with improved development tools, Polkadot 2.0 introduces simplicity to the process of building and deploying parachains and dApps on the network. We also have substrate upgrades. Here, upgrades to the substrate framework, which is the development framework for Polkadot, provide more features, better performance, and greater flexibility for developers. And the final feature is governance and decentralization. Here, this method will be more inclusive, and Polkadot 2.0 aims to include more stakeholders in its governance process, enabling a broader range of participants to propose and vote on network upgrades and changes. And that is alongside on-chain treasury, which is an improved on-chain treasury system to fund ecosystem development projects, ensuring continuous innovation and growth. Yes, this part I understand, but there is also plenty of abuse coming from whales, those who hold massive amounts of the coin. They are abusing the process. I remember recently when there were votes around marketing, it was just those who could vote with bigger volumes or big quantity of the coin. They got money sponsored for marketing, something that smaller channels like us do for free. These guys were being paid a fortune, which is ridiculous. But there you go. Anyway, that's on Polkadot 2.0 characteristics or key features. Now, what are the differences between Polkadot 2.0 and Polkadot 1.0? Because some of these things, they might appear like, oh, they're all new concepts, but they are not. There is method to the chaos, so to speak. Let's start with the scalability between the two, Polkadot 1.0 and Polkadot 2.0. Under Polkadot 1.0, primarily it relied on synchronous block processing, whereas Polkadot 2.0 introduces asynchronous backing, significantly increasing transaction throughput and reducing latency, which means under Polkadot 2.0, we have more transaction throughput, or it increases the TPS of the network. The next item is around security improvement. While Polkadot 1.0 established a solid nominated proof of stake model, Polkadot 2.0 introduces adaptive consensus mechanisms and additional security enhancements to further protect the network. Moving on to interoperability and bridges, Polkadot 1.0 laid the foundation for cross-chain communication, but Polkadot 2.0 takes this further with more advanced cross-chain messaging protocols and additional bridges to external blockchains. Now, with some of these things, I don't know whether it will be Polkadot just being too good for its own sake, but I suppose the proof will be in the pudding. Resource optimization, this is my favorite one. The introduction of parathreads and dynamic scheduler in Polkadot 2.0 allows for more efficient use of network resources compared to the static allocation in Polkadot 1.0. Now, with Polkadot 1.0, a parachain would occupy space forever, even though it was not being used, which means resources were not being effectively used under Polkadot 1.0. But with Polkadot 2.0, it allows for crypto projects building on top of Polkadot to choose whether they want to take all this space and pay for it, or use their resources effectively and only pay for the space they are using, which is blockchain space. Instead of paying for a blockchain, you're only paying for the space that you are using on Polkadot. Now, to me, that is smart, that is clever, that's what it should be about. Which means over time, if all projects building on top of Polkadot follow this route, it means over time, when people say Polkadot is reaching 100% capacity utilization, it means all the block space on Polkadot is being used effectively. And that also means the block space that is being provided, my recollection is right, is of top quality. There won't be any poor quality block space because it's being regulated by the market forces. Whereas at the moment, the way things were under Polkadot 1.0, a project could win parachain slots, and then they'll spend the next 12 to 18 months without doing anything. And that resource was being wasted, or that block space was being wasted. So you can see where this is going. Resource optimization for me is the best thing to come out of Polkadot 2.0. And around governance, Polkadot 2.0 aims to decentralize its governance further and include a wider range of stakeholders, enhancing the decision-making process and community involvement compared to Polkadot 1.0. This one, again, the jury is still out because I haven't yet seen the benefits of the latest governance under 2.0, under Polkadot 2.0. I'm guessing the jury is still out there, and over time we may see the benefits. Whether it will be good or not, we never know. Because at one point people thought parachain slots and parachain auctions was a good thing, and it turned out to be a shite show. We started calling this out in the middle of the last bull run, where we're saying this parachain slot auction, it doesn't work because some projects, especially in a bear market, projects were winning parachain slot because there was no enthusiasm around parachain slot auctions, and projects were bidding the minimum they could, and most of them went directly. They were not involved in the community, and you're looking, oh, the tokenomics were just rubbish, and I stopped participating in parachain auction. That was it for me. So I'm hoping what's coming next be good as far as the governance process is concerned. Turning our attention over to the developer experience, Polkadot 2.0 provides more advanced tools and frameworks for developers, building upon the foundation set by Polkadot 1.0 and making it easier to develop and deploy applications. Just hope so, because if developers don't come, who is going to build to start with? So you need developers. You need to make sure the experience is better for them. So in my conclusion, guys, I think Polkadot 2.0 brings significant upgrades, even though some of them are not yet in a position to say they're good or bad. But those upgrades will be focusing on things like enhanced scalability, security, interoperability, resource optimization, which is my favorite, and governance. These improvements are designed to support a more robust and dynamic ecosystem, catering to a broader range of applications and use cases while maintaining the core principles of decentralization and security that Polkadot is known for. As the network evolves, Polkadot 2.0 aims to position itself as a leading multi-chain platform capable of meeting the demands of the rapidly growing blockchain industry. These changes came just that tiddly bit short or late. It should have come a little bit earlier, because some networks, some blockchains like your Cosmos, and now I got new ones, even your Solanas and Ethereum. I know there will be debates around quality block space and so forth, but they harness change and implement change quite quickly, whereas Polkadot, it seems to take ages and everything seems to fall follow Gavin Wood's pace, his pace of operating. That's what everything follows because he's the one who's spearheading most of these changes. Anyway, guys, that's my take on Polkadot 2.0. What are your thoughts? Are you a fan of Polkadot 2.0? Let me know in the comment section, or do you understand Polkadot at all? Maybe we may need to do a video on that. Let me know in the comment section, guys. Until the next one, I'm your host, FD for Sit5.tv, signing out for now. Bye.